One thing that can get you a lot more money than usually when selling on the marketplace is custom orders. People wanting a specific size of an item you're selling, or in the case of bandsaw boxes, a different style altogether. People don't have the greatest imagination, so having a portfolio of what you can do and have done definitely helps to get more sales. I previously released a video where I made a bandsaw box in the shape of a popular character, while today I'm making a much more standard one. To make a bandsaw box, you need to start with a big block of wood. Since I don't have that, I make my own from a chopped up 2x6. I suggest making those in advance if you want to make boxes fast. Make sure you add enough glue and spread it everywhere on the surface, even more so if your wood is not super flat. This is a jointed maple 2x6. It's perfectly square and flat. You can do this without jointed wood. Using construction 2x6 with enough glue and pressure, everything will be flat enough to make a bandsaw box. Leave this to dry overnight. I suggest having blocks ready to go on hand at all times if you plan to make custom boxes quick for customers. I use Gorilla spray glue to glue a template I hand traced onto the face of the wood. You can draw the jar's shape also, because that template will still be there once we cut that out. Carefully cut out the outer shape of the box. You can discard the offcuts, so feel free to exit the cut at any time to make it easier or safer. I love making bandsaw boxes. It's a relaxing and inexpensive way to make something that people have trouble understanding how it's made without having it explained. It can be any shape, square edges and lines don't matter. Add the fence or a piece of 2x4 clamp to the table if you don't own one, and rip about a 1/4 inch off the back of the box. This will be glued back on later, once we hollowed out the box, so keep the offcut. Entering from the side, following the grain, carefully cut out the outline of the jar. Take your time, corner slowly because there is no waste here, and errors will be easy to see. Once you cut out the middle, stop the saw and exit from the entrance carefully. Similar to earlier, with the fence, cut out the back of the jar. This time, cut out the front also. Both of the parts will be glued back once we empty the inside of the jar in the next step. Draw a line about a 1/4 inch from the sides that exits from the top of both sides. This is what we're going to cut out to make the jar. Keep the wood from the inside of the jar. I'm making the knob out of a slice of it, but the big block of wood left I'll keep to make another bandsaw box. More on that later. Start by adding glue to the open seam on the box. Don't clamp it up yet, add the back first, and add clamps in both directions. For the jar, simply glue the front and back where they came from. Check the grain of the wood if you don't remember which is which. Since the pieces all fit together flat and nicely, I don't let the glue dry long before getting to sanding. I'm using Gorilla wood glue, which sets very fast. About 10 to 15 minutes later, I can unclamp it and get to sanding. While I let this dry, I make a knob out of a slice of the core of the jar. As you can see, even after that, you can still make something out of this wood. There's a lot more left. Draw a knob and cut it again on the bandsaw. Sand it to your liking, and once that's ready, you'll soon be ready to unclamp the box and finish it without losing time. I use the electric sander to sand the flat surfaces until I don't see any saw marks left. I like to finish sanding those boxes by hand. And doing all the edges by hand. I prefer the handmade results that this gives them. This step is super important. It's what will give your box its look and charm. By doing this right, getting the angles and surfaces smooth, you'll have a much nicer photo and attract more buyers and get more custom orders. I just use wood glue for the handle, nothing else. Side grain on side grain glue ups are very strong, and this will rip wood out before the glue gives. I stain this using a black oil-based stains. It gives it a rich two-tone color that I love. I finished it with 2 coats of polyacrylic. It's a water-based product similar to polyurethane that gives it a nice finish but without the yellowing. I've been using it a lot lately and I'm a fan. I mentioned earlier that you could make a box from the inside of the jar. Well, I did it. Here's both of them finished. No wood goes to waste here. The box is done. Make more designs, completely different, and post them on the marketplace. Make sure your posts show all your other boxes and that you can make custom stuff on demand. If you make nice things, people will come. Set the price at what you need to make a profit and have fun making boxes.